Have you ever noticed how, in almost every group, there are a few people who seem perfectly comfortable letting others do most of the talking? While conversations move around them, they listen quietly, occasionally nodding, sometimes asking a small question, but rarely trying to dominate the discussion. To many people, silence in conversation can feel uncomfortable, as if speaking more automatically means being more engaged. But for certain individuals, listening is not a passive role at all. In fact, it is where their mind becomes the most active. While others focus on expressing their thoughts, these individuals are absorbing everything happening in the moment. Every word, every tone, every pause between sentences becomes part of the information they are quietly processing. And over time, this creates a very different relationship with conversation itself. For people who naturally prefer listening, communication is less about occupying space with words and more about understanding the layers behind what is being said. When someone speaks, they are not only hearing the sentence being formed, they are also noticing how the person says it, the speed of the speech, the emotional tone behind certain phrases, the moments where someone hesitates before finishing a thought. All of these details form a deeper picture of what the person might actually be trying to communicate. While many conversations move quickly from one speaker to the next, these individuals remain focused on fully absorbing the message before responding. Their silence is not absence, it is attention. Another reason some people prefer listening is connected to the way their mind organizes ideas. For many individuals, thinking and speaking happen almost at the same time. Thoughts appear and are immediately expressed out loud. But for others, thinking happens more privately. They prefer to explore ideas internally before sharing them. Listening allows their mind to collect information, connect patterns, and reflect on what is being discussed without the pressure of responding instantly. In a fast conversation, this internal processing may take longer than the rhythm of the discussion allows. As a result, they often remain quieter, not because they have nothing to say, but because their mind is still examining the information being presented. There is also an interesting psychological advantage that develops when someone listens more than they speak. Over time, they become highly skilled at understanding people. When a person spends years observing conversations rather than constantly leading them, their awareness of human behavior becomes more refined. They begin to recognize emotional shifts in a voice, subtle discomfort hidden inside a joke, or enthusiasm that appears when someone talks about something meaningful to them. Because they are not focused on preparing their next sentence, their attention stays fully directed toward the other person. This often makes them exceptionally perceptive in social situations. In many cultures, being the most vocal person in the room is often associated with confidence, but listening requires a different kind of confidence, the ability to remain present without needing to constantly assert oneself in the conversation. People who enjoy listening tend to feel comfortable allowing silence to exist for a moment. They do not rush to fill every pause with words. Instead, they let the conversation breathe. And sometimes this creates space for others to express ideas they might not have shared otherwise. Their quiet presence often encourages deeper and more meaningful dialogue. Interestingly, many people who prefer listening also form stronger one-on-one connections rather than thriving in large group discussions. In smaller conversations, their listening ability becomes especially valuable. When someone feels genuinely heard, they naturally open up more. Because these individuals pay close attention and respond thoughtfully, others often feel understood in their presence. The conversation becomes less about exchanging quick remarks and more about exploring ideas and emotions with greater depth. In the end, preferring to listen more than speak is not a lack of social engagement. It is simply a different way of interacting with the world. While some people contribute to conversations by filling them with energy and words, others contribute by creating space for understanding. And sometimes the person who speaks the least in the room is the one who understands the most about what is truly being said.